If you have the investor or somebody is ready to invest in your startup or business, you have discussed all the things on what basis the person would be investing, and now you're thinking you want to frame it on a paper and you want to give a legal structure to all your discussion. Then you need to prepare and sign the term sheet. Today we will be discussing about term sheet. Hello guys, my name is Yogesh Tite and I am the founder of Entype. Let's start. So we need to understand what is term sheet. It is nothing but an agreement of what you, an investor, has decided. How much they would be investing, on what grounds they would be investing, what would be the returns, how much equity you are going to dilute, how much interest you are going to pay, if it is a convertible notes, after what time that notes should be convertible, in initial years what would be the debenture charge as an interest rate. So all these things we have to mention on a paper and both the parties would sign that particular document, and then you can get the investment from the investor. So there are few points which are important from investors and founder perspective that they should include in a term sheet. Let's understand one by one. First is the issuer. Issuer of this document, term sheet. In most of the cases, an investor or VC company or angel investors or the angel network issue this particular document. But if the company is big like Reliance and somebody is investing, in that case Reliance might be the issuer of term sheet. This doesn't affect the power and the inclusions of the term sheet, but whoever is in powerful position, that can become the issuer of the term sheet. The next thing is valuation. And here we are talking about pre-money valuation. For example, consider the valuation is 8 rupees or $8. How much investor is going to invest is the amount or investment. That means 2 rupees or $2. Fourth is post-money valuation. That means 10 rupees or $10. The fifth is cap table. Cap table is nothing but the current shareholding pattern of your startup or company. Let's say you and me are the partner. I am holding 40%, you are holding 60%. So current table is Yogesh is holding 40% and you are holding 60%. Now this investor is coming in, so there would be a 6-point new cap table. That means a third person investor. In this case, my shares would get diluted at the 20%, your share would get diluted at the 20%. Okay, and there would be, let's say investor is 20%, I am 30%, you would be 50%. This is just a calculation, so this would be new cap table. I hope you got this. So the next thing is number of shares. Consider in total there are 10,000 shares. According to the new cap table, if I am holding 30%, that means I am having 3,000 shares. You are holding 50%, that means you are holding 5,000 shares, and the new investor is holding 20%, that means he is having 2,000 shares. So we need to include all these 7 points at very beginning of the term sheet. Once this is done, then the 8th point is investor commitment. Let's say investor has committed you to give 2 rupees or $2 right now, and you are raising it for, let's say, next 5 years, and he committed every year I would be putting in 2 rupees or $2. So you need to write down what all commitments you got from the investor. Then the next point is the milestone, or these are the commitment from the founders. So once you take these 2 rupees, what you are going to achieve? That should be quantifiable. The next point is usage of this 2 rupees. Where you are going to use this 2 rupees in marketing, sales, recruitment, technology, whatever are the usage. You have to clearly mention that. If there are any installments, as in out of this 2 rupees, 0.5 rupees I will pay you now, 0.5 rupees I will pay you after you achieve particular milestone, 0.5 after second milestone, 0.5 after third milestone. So the disbursement pattern has to be mentioned according to the result, according to the milestone. So everybody will get to know at this point of time we are only going to get, after achieving some milestones, we are going to get 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and this has to be mentioned with respective of time. Now after 3 months, after 6 months, after 12 months, whatever are the timeline with respect to your milestone, that we have to mention it clearly. So if there are disbursement pattern, so what would be the equity allocation? Means if investor is giving me 0.5 right now, how much equity I am going to dilute right now? If he is giving me after 3 months another 0.5, how much I am going to dilute after 3 months? Likewise after 6 months, after 12 months. So according to the funding, the equity dilution we have to mention, and that can be discussed and that can be decided mutually whether you guys would be calculating all this equity based on today's valuation or based on the situation valuation. Let's say this valuation, if investor is investing 0.5 after 3 months, so should we consider today's valuation or after 3 months valuation? That you can mutually decide and you can include in a term sheet. The next thing is equity conversion. We have already covered this topic in last video. If at all you are investing 2 rupees and that is on the convertible notes, or some portion of this on a convertible notes, then how long there would be a debenture and interest, let's say for 1 year, at what percent, let's say for 10% per annum. That means after 1 year 1 rupees will become 1.10, and now this would be converted into equity. So we have to mention when we are going to convert a debentures into equity, that we call it convertible notes, and all the things related to convertible notes you need to mention. The next thing is dividend. Dividend is nothing but sharing a profit of the company among all the stakeholders with respective of their stakeholding. Let's say if I am holding 10% and company has got a profit of 100 rupees, so my total dividend would be 10 rupees, but this would be decided by the company and their board of directors, that are we going to give the dividend to our stakeholders? Are we going to give 100% or there is some percent? Let's say company has decided 50% only dividends would be there, 50% would be used for the company's growth and scale up. So I would get only 5 rupees. Or there would be a scene that company decided, okay, no, we will not give the dividend. So is this particular investor is expecting some dividend, or what would be your dividend policy that you have to include? That leads us to the next question: who would decide that if at all dividend should be given or not? That is board. Board means there would be some people, investor, core team, founders, and these people will decide whether they want to give the dividend or not. But who gives this right to the board director to decide whether they want to give the dividend or not? Dividend is just example. Let's say the company want to expand into new geography, or they want to create new product, they want to acquire something. So decision making is there, and who would decide? Let's say there is a new investor with the 20%. Would he decides, or 80% existing founders, would they decide? So there are legal structures, as in 51% would be having some power, 76% holding would be having some power. But in term sheet we have to clearly mention what are the rights of voting, control of the company and management, and decision making. So all things we have to include in term sheet. Rights of voting, everybody would be having a right of voting. Control, who would control the company and who would take the decision. So we have to clearly mention, for this kind of decisions founders would take, for this kind of decisions we will vote, for this kind of decision everybody has to be agree. So whatever are the things related to your industry, startup, business, that you can mention, and you can clearly define voting rights, control and decision making power. The next and very important thing is exit. If investor is investing 2 rupees at 20% for 5 years, okay, what would be the exit value? Approximate. That you don't need to mention in a term sheet because this is unpredictable. These are projected one and these are tend to change. But what would be the approximate? Okay, what is the timeline? Okay, and what are the options? In last video we have discussed exit. In last video we have discussed the exit strategy, but let me revise it for you. Buyback by the founder or existing investor, IPO, next round of funding, acquisition. In preference shareholder you can mention, okay, if there are the situation of the founders and existing investor, okay, they would buy back, the next round of funding, acquisition, IPO, these would be the exit policies. If at all anything happens out of this and there are 2 or 3 investors, okay, we have to very clearly mention preference. We call it preference share. We have to clearly mention, so we have to mention the preference shares very clearly. Who is going to get the early exit? Who has been given the priority? So that we can mention very clearly. And the next and 15th point is, if you have got additional points, which you think these are very important from startup perspective, your business perspective, your control perspective, your equity perspective, your decision making perspective, growth perspective, any perspective, if you think there are few points you need to add, you can add that and you can just sign document. One thing is, this is term sheet. This is non-binding agreement. So you have to be sure while drafting and signing the term sheet. I hope you got to know everything about the term sheet, right from the issuer to the exit, preference and additional point. I hope you got to learn something today. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. See you again.